Hello everyone, I'm Andrew from Andrew's Bird and Pet Palace. I'm going to give you a visually sexing on diamond sparrows, one of my favourites, and I'm sure it's a lot of favourites of a lot of you finch guys and parrot guys. They're quite an attractive bird. They're distributed from the top of all the east coast of Queensland, right down through New South Wales, into Victoria and into Adelaide Hills area. They are quite an attractive bird. They like the open, dry areas. They're west of the ranges as well. I'll talk about a species that I think is coming from the western side of the ranges, which is a slightly smaller bird, and they do breed in harsher conditions, which is something that we should look at too, at the species of the diamond sparrow. They are endangered, and we should be breeding quite a lot of these guys. They're fairly easy to breed. They don't need live food. Some people feed them maggots to encourage them, but just greens and soaked seed and seeding grasses is sufficient enough for these birds to breed. You need a fairly good size aviary for these guys because they do pack on the weight from the canary seed. Canary seed puts the weight on them, and they're quite susceptible for worms as well. So worming is quite critical on the diamond sparrow because they are a ground dweller, so they'll pick up roundworms, anything like that. So worming is very important for these type of birds. Any finches that feed on the ground are very susceptible for roundworm or tapeworm. Not much tapeworm, but if they eat live food, they're going to get worms through the live food. Now, in this cage here, I have two diamond sparrows, which we will visually sex, and we're going to explain how I sex the birds so you can get an idea on how to sex the birds yourself. Now, sexing birds is not you do it once and say they're a pair. Go back to them in 2 to 3 months, recheck them again, video what you're doing so you know if any changes do occur in these birds, because as these birds get into breeding condition, they will change colour in their beak and the eye, the skin around the eye. So any of your finches, don't just check them once, check them 2-3 times and watch their behaviour. Knowing their behaviour, you'll understand what's cocks and what's hens. They're all different, and you'll learn a lot more by observing your finches and how the characteristics of the birds perform in an aviary, and when you've got pairs or not having pairs. If they're constantly chasing each other and fighting, well, they're not a pair, but the chasing occurs through stimulation of the hen bird. So the cocks will chase the hen, encourage them to go to a side area, and they will start building their nest sites. Now, grasses are very important for these birds. Different types of grass. They like the coarse type of grass to build a nest. So, try different things, and they love white feathers. They just build their nest with white feathers. It attracts the birds. Throw a handful in there and they'll take it to their nest, and you'll know where they're nesting. White feathers is probably, or emu feathers for that case too. So we're going to try and sex these guys, and hopefully you'll learn something from it, which this is what the videos are all about. Thank you. Another little way that you can sex diamonds is the characteristic in sitting on the perch. Males will tend to sit more upright, and hens tend to squat on the perch as if they're going to be mated. So watching the birds perform on a perch or in a cabinet, you'll give you an idea of cocks and hens. Hens will tend to sit more forward, cockbirds will sit more upright, and that will indicate your cocks and hens. Top bird is the cockbird, this is the hen bird on the bottom. Males will tend to sit more upright, hens will tend to squat. Males tend to sit more still. Females are very active, moving around quite a bit. We'll sex these guys visually and give you another idea. This is a pair of diamonds that we're going to visually sex. The bird here on the right is your cockbird. You notice 3 things on this bird. One, the coralness of the beak is more maroon, whereas the hen bird's more red. More white for the cockbird in the face. The red around the eye, the skin around the eye itself. Males is more rough skinned, like an orange peel, bit more rough looking. The female's the lighter colour, and it's a pinky colour. Okay, that's your iris around the eye. And the lores, look at the lores. The lores is the part between the beak and the eye, which indicates this bird here is a cockbird because it's nice and narrow. This one is a hen, it's nice and broad and goes around the eye. It's a lot bigger. Colour of the rump, cockbird here. He's starting to colour up and be a nice cockbird. This is a hen bird. Cockbird on the right, hen on the left. Head size, cockbird's got the bigger, broader head. This bird, this is a hen bird. Cockbird's big. Look at the dots. Dots are more bigger on the cockbirds. Hens are more elongated. Round for cockbirds, elongated for hens. Now in my hand I have 2 cockbirds. Even just holding the bird itself, it feels a lot bigger. So this one here is smaller, which is the West Coast, more Western Ranges, and this one here is the Eastern Ranges. Okay, now if you look at the head, slightly different shape and everything. These are more bigger in the head, the East Coast. The Westerns are more flat, angled, short, stumpy beak. Okay, these 2 are both males. Both males. And the head difference, the heads are slightly different. More flatter wedge type head for the Western. The Eastern's got the bigger and broader head. They're both cockbirds, these birds. You can tell also how red that is on the tail. Indicate cockbirds. Now look at the heads closely. Bigger head, smaller head. Bigger beak, smaller beak. This is your Western, this is your Eastern. This is your Eastern, okay. This is your Western. If you look at the beak size there, and the head, very closely, you'll see this guy's got the small stumpier beak, and this one's got the bigger beak. I'm Andrew from Andrew's Bird and Pet Palace. I hope you have learned something from that. You can like us on Twitter and on Facebook, and I hope you are all learning from it. If you've got different theories on sexing birds, do message me. Willing to learn more, and I'm sure you are willing to learn more off other people too. So just hope you enjoy the videos. Thank you very much. Andrew.